Greetings, peace and blessings, family. Coming at you, I'm feeling well. I think I'm feeling well. Hope you guys are feeling well. I'm glad that you guys are listening. I got a couple of things I wanted to explain to you guys about how we are handling our stress levels. Our people, we are really living in one of those stress-induced psychological environments every single day. And we are trying to find ways to handle those things, whether we're dealing with the people on our job, we're dealing with the people at home, we're dealing with businesses and clients and those type of things. Just everyday stress. And we know we got to deal with each other, so we might as well, figure out a good way to handle these stress-induced related issues. And a lot of times we put it on ourselves and we don't know. We don't really know. So I noticed some things within myself, right? I've been analyzing myself and I've actually got a message from a brother. It was like, I deal with positivity over here, and I don't mean to even come off negative sometimes. But I got to understand that sometimes within all of our weight that we handle every single day, we may have temperaments that may come off the negative way. We have residue that's coming from previous endeavors, conversations. So stress levels is something that we got to start really paying attention to. We can be stressed early in the morning when we wake up, and just from our waking up makes us stressed, stresses our body up. It takes our body from a certain level all the way up to having to get ready for action, because you was just laying down. So that's already stressful. But then for somebody like maybe your mate to get on your nerves early in the morning, it takes it up a little bit higher. Your stress levels are really bit higher. And then that lingers on. It leaves a residue all throughout the day. Then by the time you get home, you're still kind of, you're trying to weigh it down, but you're still stressed out. And you need something that's going to handle those cortisol levels. Cortisol is a double-edged sword. It can hurt you both ways if you don't have enough of it, if you have too much of it. And most of us today, since we are self-inducing these stress levels on us, we're dealing with high stress levels as though we're running from a lion every day, trying to solve problems every day. Some people the problem could just be simply what you're going to eat tomorrow, or how I'm going to get paid tomorrow. Everybody's dealing with some type of stress level, you know what I'm saying? So let me tell you some of the conditions that is involved with these high stress levels. And it's almost everything. But the main thing that the adrenals are responsible for is regulating your blood pressure control. It's controlling how these calcium and magnesium molecules inside your bloodstream is being imbalanced. And it does that by using sodium. Salt is one of the main things that handles the regulation of blood pressure control. The next thing that the adrenals is responsible for is how strong you are, how your muscle weakness. So those of you who are dealing with fibromyalgia or just pain in certain areas, the adrenals is sending cortisol there to stress those levels off. It's causing an inflammatory response. Those of you who are dealing with autoimmune conditions, the adrenals is causing a stress response. And that stress response is causing the immune cells to inflame, to attack itself. And this is the reason why doctors give prednisone or cortisone, because they understand that it's handling the stress response. But they're only looking at cortisol. There's a whole nother other things that cortisol is handling. But for the adrenals, it's also handling blood sugar regulation. So it's working in this little loop. Cortisol antagonizes your blood sugar, and the blood sugar antagonizes insulin. And blood sugar and the insulin is two totally different things. Two different things. So there's an insulin index and a sugar index. You need to be aware of those things. So if those of you who are eating meat, yes, it may not trigger your glucose or your blood sugar, but it's triggering the insulin. And nobody really is paying attention to that part. So I'm dealing with those things. I go to the gym and I know I can feel my thinking all the time dispersed and I'm not really focused on so much of my muscles, but they're getting weaker faster because of cortisol. And a lot of people, if you notice that when you go to the gym, if you're climbing up an incline or you're doing the incline steps, then you will run out of oxygen faster, and that'll let you know that that's an adrenal weakness. Vegans out there, a lot of people may get mad at me for saying this, but vegans out there are dealing with some adrenal issues. And those is because they're not making the right type of hormones. See, the adrenal has maybe about 7 or 8 different hormones that it's controlling. It's handling testosterone, estrogen, pregnenolone. It's handling DHEA, and so many more. It's so much that it is handling. But if you're not having certain ones, it doesn't go in the right pathway. So, say for instance, the woman, her ovaries, she's not ovulating, she's not releasing her egg. And this puts her in a condition of PCOS, because if the egg is not released, it will make a cyst. Okay? So the cyst is triggered by something else, and it's all because the adrenals is the backup glands for the ovaries. And if the adrenals are not producing the pregnenolone, which is another hormone that makes progesterone so that egg can release, it's not going to, it just doesn't line up. So there's certain orders, certain pathways that these things must work in. I got a lot that I deal with people, and I'm always trying to go in with the right intention, to have the right type of adrenaline, the epinephrine, in my brain and my adrenals, so that I can get that action done, so I can perform right. But I notice within my tolerance, I just can't deal with certain things. And that's a lot of people. We just have to adapt to those things, So I'm giving away a stress adapter. It's really an adrenal support formula. It's around $10 on the website. Go check that out. It's going to be there for those of you guys who really need to just focus on your adrenals. It'll calm you down and help you adapt to certain situations better. And just a key note, those of you who can't lose weight, that's an adrenal issue, because the cortisol is activating inside the fat tissues. It's just that way. Those of you who are dealing with insomnia, mentally stressing out problems all the time, trying to solve problems, just can't find yourself to go to sleep. But there's a lot. I can talk on and on about the adrenals.